Can you believe 2023 is almost done? And it was a good year, a good, fun year. Had a lot of fun riding. I had, some facial scarring thanks to this tree. And by the way, look at that. That sticker, that KevCentral sticker that I put on this tree months and months ago, documented in this video, a link down in the description, it's still going strong. So a shameless plug. If you want your very own KevCentral sticker, there will also be a link to my sticker store down in the description. UV and water resistant, and apparently the adhesive good enough, a little peeling there, but good enough that all these months later it's still holding up outdoors on a tree that it was not designed to stick to. So it will hold up on a bike excellently well. And I guess this is a good segue into today's video topic, and that's this bike. This, if you don't know, is my Schwinn aluminum comp Project Comp V2.2. I fully modified this bike, and I wanted to give you an update. This is the bike that I started out 2023 riding, kind of my go-to bike. I cycled through bikes, but this was my go-to bike that I started the year riding a lot, and it's kind of fitting that I'm ending the year back on it. I haven't ridden it in a while, so today is the first day out. As a matter of fact, I loaned it out, and it got sat outside for about a month. You can see just a little rust there on the chain, a little dirt, but other than that, it's doing well. Now, I did clean off the handlebars and the seat, and by the way, look at this Dr. Bike saddle still holding up, and this is through quite a bit of riding on this bike. I mean, I've ridden this a lot out here on the trails at Wildwood. Fortunately, it wasn't the bike that I crashed into this tree on, but it did line up well. It did line up well. So let's just go over this really quick, because I want to mention some of these. I choose budget components. These are the FMX something bars. I'll put a link to those down. I'll put a link to everything that I can on this. I don't think this fork is available anymore, at least where I bought it. I bought it from Amazon. It was either Amazon or eBay. This is an X Fusion fork. It's been a really good fork, and I got that super cheap. But let's just go over this really quick. I put these bars on. Some people scared of budget bars. The ones that I choose, anything that you see here is stuff that I have used myself, and it's worked out for me. Of course, I don't tell anyone to do what I do. I'm just having fun. I don't have any problems or any lack of faith in these bars or even this wake stem. I used a fun headset on this. Got a little snazzy with the spacers. You'll see some red accents and stuff throughout the bike. The Shimano MT200, the micro shift shifter. And by the way, having sat outside, still shifting like a champ. We'll get to that. Of course, the X Fusion fork, this is an air fork. These tires, now I believe this is the second set of these Continental Mountain Kings. Not because I wore down the first set, but because I needed it for something else, or seems like I gave them to someone that needed some tires or something like that. But pretty sure these are the second set of the same thing that I started out with, because they're good tires, really good tires, and these have been going for quite a while. And these WTB SX19, the cycling deal wheel sets, hard to come by now, but these things are a great deal when you can find them. Usually around 200 bucks, and you'll get tires on them. Usually get the Cross King tires, but still, it's good enough for trails like this, and a lot better than the factory tires in most cases. I added some, by the way, this come with Novatech hubs. I mean, good stuff, good spinning stuff. I added a little bling here. There's that cool little rebound adjustment knob on this X Fusion. I love that even it is red. Frame, a little dirty, but this is holding up. These Schwinn paint jobs, these finishes, some of them can be fragile, but on these aluminum comp bikes, they hold up well, and I like the two-tone. Of course, the tapered headset, and by the way, that is a tapered fork. I don't know if you can see up in there. That's a tapered fork. When I upgraded this, I used that tapered headset with a fun headset to adapt it in. Now, this frame, I was just talking about this finish. I like it. Some people don't like two-tone. Personally, I do. I think it looks really good, but it is tough. This is a tough finish. I mean, just look at this. There is not a scratch on there. Well, maybe a few little mars here and there, but this has been ridden a lot. Let's look down here. Well, I'm sure there might be a scratch or two somewhere down there, but this is holding up incredibly well. And this external routing, I love internal routing. It looks good, it's nice, but this makes for easy upgrades. This bike is still under $300 at Walmart, and it is on my definite list of good bikes to buy, especially if you're someone like me and want something to ride around the neighborhood as is, and then upgrade, and upgrade enough that you can turn this into an absolute little trail beast for not a lot of money. You know, throw a nice fork on it, a better drivetrain, some better brakes. At least that's my logic. That's the way I look at it, and I really, really like the aluminum comp to this day. Now, last time I was in Walmart, not a lot of Schwinns, but there were aluminum comps. So hopefully this will endure at Walmart. So let's just go over a few more components here. This Dr. Bike saddle, the last time I looked, these weren't available. And the only reason I chose this was the red. I just kind of got caught up in the trendy look thing. And I chose that because of this. And on one of my bikes, that little plastic thing will click when you move. I think it's the orange saddle that I had, but this red one, it looks good. It still looks good. I mean, I can't believe that has held up. Seems like on my other one it wore off, that it wore off really fast, but it's still going. Now that might have continued. I'm not sure. Nah, looks like it's separate there. But still going strong. Comfort, you know, it doesn't take a lot to get more comfortable than a factory saddle. I'm having to hold the bike up because I moved it. But this is still, oh, it's coming at me. It's still going strong, still looking good. This suspension seat post, some people are going to cringe at this, but look at that. I just noticed this. And it wasn't like this when I started out this ride. So my Zoom suspension seat post, that seal, now I can't get it pulled up and I don't want to yank it up and run it, but that seal, it was pulled up there. So the seal's starting to give out on this, but it still does suspension. If I'm on the bike, it's smooth, and these are kind of addictive. I guess, you know, the more adult you get, the more comfort starts playing in. And this just doesn't look mountain bikey. Well, it actually kind of looks like a little tiny dropper post, but it does work good as far as smoothing out the ride on the keister. Now, one thing I want to point out is that I added this. This is, I forgot the name of it, but it's a system where you can just kind of clamp in and mag lock a bottle, a water bottle. It's a whole system. It's pretty good. As a matter of fact, comes off like that. Oh, there's the name. Fidlock. This is part of the Fidlock system. It's a really cool system. I have a few different components of this. I don't know if they're still available. I'll look and see if they are. But it's a good system. You can tighten this down. You can even put a banana in this one and tighten it down, so I like that. But under it, hidden under there, that's an Apple AirTag inside there. Kind of a little try at some bike security. Now I do within the next few days. I have an actual GPS system that I'll be showing you that will far and above trump that. Let me go down here to this crank set. I'll start with these pedals. These are Fukers. I'm a Fuker fan. I like Fukers, and these have been on this bike since day one. So has this crank set, the entire drivetrain, since day one of my mods. Since I started with the whole Project Comp thing, or at least at Project Comp V2. So this has been going on. Look, I got this bike in 2020. That was when Schwinn did their whole tapered head tube thing and came out with a trio of bikes that really stepped the game up and threw down a gauntlet that, you know, now there's some other bikes that arguably have surpassed even, at least not in 27.5, I'll say. They haven't in 27.5, but some of the 29ers have equaled and or surpassed some of those 2020 Schwinns. But still, this aluminum comp, it's holding up good. But back to this drivetrain. I've had these on there since I modified this drivetrain. This IXF crankset, you buy these for 40 bucks. 40 bucks, and they work well. They have an external bearing bottom bracket. This one is well worn, but it's still holding up, or well used, I'll say, not worn. Well used, it's still holding up. Clones of a Shimano setup. If you shop well and shop savvy, these pedals, sometimes you can get down to $16 or so. If you find out saying, might not get to pick your color, but you can get a good pedal for cheap. Under $40 for this setup, including that external bearing bottom bracket. And the chain ring, usually see those for 12 bucks. That's a snail chain ring, one of my favorites, one of my picks. This bike is my I know it works setup with the Fuker, the IXF, the snail, and the Microshift Advent. Bling, the Microshift Advent X 10-speed with a clutch. Clutch you can turn off and on. That wide range cassette and budget. You can get this cassette. They make two different versions, a heavier steel and then this lighter one. You can usually get the heavier steel one, this derailleur and a shifter for sometimes around 160 bucks, 167 bucks, something like that. Spend 15, 20 more dollars, get this lighter cassette. If you're a weight weenie, I don't like a lot of weight on my bikes. I like lightweight when possible. And this has, something caught in there. This has worked out well. I haven't touched this. It's been outside so much that the chain has rusted. I didn't even lube this chain. Just got on it and rode it after it being sat outside for a month, maybe even longer, because I did park it under my deck for a while. That's another thing I'll be talking about, bike space, and I'm going to purge some bikes this year. Of course, this one will definitely make the cut of what I keep. I'm going to keep what I ride regularly, get rid of some others. But anyway, that's a whole other video topic. This drivetrain, bulletproof, budget. If you're going to upgrade, or at least when I upgrade, this is what I look for budget, for good. Still untoppable 3 years later, almost 4 now, since I did some of this. Yeah, it's a 2020. It's when this came out, and I did these upgrades in 2020. So this is almost 2024, might be 2024 when you see this video. And all this stuff still working good. And let me hop around here. You're going to hear some leaves. Going to crunch on some leaves here. Look at this. These are the Schwinn factory rotors, and look how well they're holding up. These are just the factory rotors. Still working well, no rust, even though some of the other items have rusted. So, that's a factory component. Not bad. Here's a closer look at that external bearing bottom bracket. The Novatech hub here at the rear, at least if I can get it in frame. Well, it's down there. The Novatech hub. A little bling, unnecessary. Corky, this stuff's held up well for me. These Corky quick release skewers, front and rear. This is a 135 spacing on the rear, so, kind of a little older there. But this bike has held up well, and it's still doing well in 2023, going into 2024, and I'm going to keep riding it because it's that good. So I wanted to celebrate it along with 2023, some of the fun, some of the trials, and to let you know stickers are available, UV and water resistant. They hold up well. Link down in the description. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video, for being part of the channel. And now I'm going to continue my ride here on Project Comp V2.2. I don't think I need to do any more modifications to this. Just going to ride it until something wears out and then replace that. I don't expect anything to wear out for quite a while, except maybe having to replace this. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'm sure I'll talk to you before then, but if I don't, Happy New Year.